Research done by the current psychology found that proactive personalities, those who actively seek out responsibilities and challenges, are more likely to be promoted. Proactive individuals tend to engage in taking charge behaviors. They challenge the status quo. They seek to improve organizational process. This type of behavior is good because it increases their visibility for higher leaderships. And it also brings forth recognition within the company for taking that initiative, and it leads to higher promotability. These individuals, according to the study, are often seen as more valuable by their leaders due to their initiative and their willingness to go beyond their roles and improve the overall outcome of the company. A second study from the Realities of Management Promotion, written by Marian Ruderman and Patricia Olet, highlighted the importance of preparation and proven performance. Promotions are often based on an individual's past achievements, such as their technical expertise, their leadership abilities, and their track record of successfully managing projects or teams and implementing positive changes in the process. In one of the research projects that they researched, they analyzed that promotions within Fortune 500 companies, 61% of the promotions were attributed to an individual's proven success in their previous role. This kind of makes sense, right? Because if you're interviewing for a position, they're going to look at your resume, and your resume is obviously a collection of your previous roles. So that's what the company is going based off. But I think something to take note here is that it's not so much saying how you're going to perfectly fit into this new role, or that those experiences necessarily match 100%, that you have the full understanding of that position. It's more so, how have you in the past tackled problems, issues, resolved them, and brought forth positive results, even if that position may not be completely identical. They also found that interpersonal skills such as communication and leadership are very important factors in influencing promotion decisions. This goes as high as 47% of the cases highlighted that leadership is a critical component of promotability. That means that almost half of all jobs. Promotions, ultimately, they're going to stem from various factors. However, there is some data that shows that certain traits are going to be heavily favored. I myself have over 10 years experience as a manager, and I can tell you right now that a lot of this research is actually true as well. If I am going to promote somebody, or if I have a manager below me or a supervisor that we're going to hire, there's going to be certain traits that I look for that have a better fit for the role that they're going to have. For example, if you're going to hire somebody for safety, you want to hire somebody with experience understanding SOPs, laws, legalities, OSHA, whatever it is that fits into that specific spot. But they need to have experience understanding the actual processes of the company, because every company is going to have a little bit of different safety standards. So somebody that understands and has worked on that and can present very well on that is more favorable than maybe somebody who comes in and they have a lot of understanding on finances. Well, in safety, those previous roles that deal with finance are not going to be a direct fit when you're competing with somebody who already has previous experience with that type of SOP and more managerial requirements. We've all seen other people at work get promoted, and you may have asked yourself, well, why not me? It's easy to feel like you're putting in the effort and also the dedication, and yet the recognition isn't coming to you. But understand that promotions aren't just handed out to people who do their jobs well. They're given to people who display, as we spoke about and we saw, a certain unique set of traits that make them indispensable. And that's the key word here. Somebody who is indispensable and has the actual potential for growth. If you're honestly serious about climbing the career ladder, it's time to focus on what's going to set you apart from the rest. So let's explore some of these differences here and how you can stay ahead of them, and how you can earn that promotion or maybe a better job at a higher salary somewhere else. I'm going to upset a lot of people here, but it's a matter of fact that doing your job isn't enough for you to get promoted. I know I'm going to get some pushback here, but it's honestly the truth that doing your job is just the baseline. Now, I'm not advocating for working long hours. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that you need to put in a lot of hours. I'm not saying that you need to help the company, even though you work for a Fortune 500 company, that if you were to probably, today and tomorrow, there's going to be a replacement for you in that spot. I get that. It's true. I'm not going to deny that. It's a matter of fact. But you can't honestly have that type of mentality when you're trying to move forward. When you're trying to get promoted, when you're trying to get more money, you need to put that type of mindset aside for a bit and just focus on what traits you need to get more money. At the end of the day, what you want is a higher salary. What the company wants is more success. So you're going to have to take a little bit more initiative. So remember, doing your job is going to be the bare minimum if you want to get promoted. A lot of people think that simply meeting the expectations will result in a promotion, and that's just not true. Companies will promote people who are proactive. They don't want somebody who's reactive. Somebody that reacts to a scenario. They want somebody who gets ahead of the curve. They want people who see the opportunities where others are kind of seeing these problems. They don't know really how to fix them. And they also want people who are leaders before they even have the title. If you're only doing what's outlined in your job description, you're not going to set yourself apart from the rest of the workforce. Why? Because everybody's doing that. In a competitive environment, the key to standing out is to go beyond what is expected and demonstrate that you're capable of more responsibility and more leadership. But how do you do that? What makes somebody more promotion worthy? How do you actually get there? Well, number one of the biggest differentiators here is proactivity and initiative, like I mentioned before. Waiting for tasks to be assigned to you or even only completing the tasks that you're given may not be enough, especially in a very competitive market. This is where you need to put yourself in the position of your boss, and that's something that I always do, and something that I was taught when I was 18 years old in the Marine Corps, is to do the role of the person above you. Whoever is you report to, whoever's ahead of you, you should be doing the role at your rank. That was like engraved to me, and I took it with me in the civilian side, and I think it worked very well because I have a fairly well position. So you need to anticipate what the challenges are going to be, what's expected of you, and you need to look for a way to improve those processes before they're even asked, or to hand out or to provide a solution or to present something before it's asked of you. I'll give you an example, right? Let's say that you are in marketing and you notice that the strategy you guys have right now, it's just not performing very well. Well, are you going to wait for somebody? Like you're visually seeing the KPIs, you're seeing the data that you're reviewing. Are you going to wait for somebody to tell you, hey, you need to figure out a way to solve this? Why are we doing so bad this quarter? Why is this month lower than the last? No, you should take the initiative to analyze that data that you have, and you need to create a plan. You should create a plan. This type of initiative will have you be seen as a problem solver, not as somebody who identifies problems, because there's a difference between saying, hey, look at the data, it's really bad, and saying, hey, look at the data, it's really bad. Here is what I propose. What do you think? And it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be correct. Your boss doesn't have to necessarily agree 100% with it, but it's kind of a way for them to see where you're at and that you are thinking, that you're a forward thinker and that you're critically thinking of ways to solve issues. Number two is you need to have ownership and accountability. People who get promoted are those that take ownership of their work, whether it succeeds or it fails. They're the ones who are going to take responsibility when things go wrong. And why exactly does this matter? Because leadership is accountability. When you can demonstrate that you're willing to own your own outcome, whether it's bad or good, even in those difficult situations, you're showing that you can handle more responsibility in a mature manner. Take the time to reflect on your performance and ask yourself, okay, am I blaming external factors for my failure when it's being brought up to me? Or am I actually learning from them by telling my leadership whenever something goes wrong that I could have done this better, or that I reviewed it and I agree that they were wrong? Or do you try to blame other people or find it out? Being accountable also means seeking feedback regularly. You shouldn't wait for annual reviews or quarterly reviews to see how you're doing. You should ask for feedback even from your peers or from your management and take action on how that commitment can lead to personal growth. And this will be seen as a major plus for your employer. Number three is going to be leadership without the title. You don't need to have manager or director or supervisor in your job title to act like a leader. Now, I'm not saying get in people's business, start bossing people around when you have no real reason to. I'm just saying those people who are going to get promoted are the ones that are going to display leadership qualities before they actually have been given the position to lead. Or if you are in a position that leads, having those good qualities. But let's say you're just starting off. This can be something as simple as maybe mentoring a new employee, somebody from another branch, from another division, peer mentoring, if they're open to it, or even raising your hand and saying, hey, could I lead a project? Or can I offer some support to my colleagues who are struggling with something? Remember that leadership is about influence and not so much about position. Think of it this way. If people naturally go towards you and they ask you for support, they ask you for guidance, they ask you for how do you do this thing? How did you get to where you were at? How did you come up with this result? How did you do this? How did you do that? That's a very good sign. That's literally a sign that people see you as a leader. And if people see that within your network, guess what? Your management should also be seeing that. And they're more likely to see that you're ready for the next step because they want somebody that the community, that the competitive market is seeing. What I mean by competitive market, I mean like the competition within your company, that they're saying that these people who are your peers or other people from other departments come to you very often for resolutions, that's like, okay, this person is ready. Like if we put them over here, we're going to get more results. Number 4 is adaptability and growth mindset. The business world is constantly evolving, and those who adapt are the ones who are going to thrive. Companies are going to promote individuals who not only handle change, but they embrace it. Because at the end of the day, it's a huge opportunity for growth. Are you somebody that seeks out new skills? Or do you stay updated with industry trends? Or do you look for ways to innovate? A growth mindset is about believing that the abilities that you're going to develop through hard work are perfect, are great. They're going to be better for you, and they're going to be a way for continuous learning. This is going to make you more adaptable, but also a stronger employee for your company. Now, it does get a little bit difficult, I'll be honest, especially when you have a lot of stuff going on. Like, for example, I try to stay up to date with, economics, finance, business. And I find it hard sometimes. I am so behind on my YouTube videos or podcasts just because of how much stuff I have going on. But I think what's important here is that at least a couple hours a week, 30 minutes a day, an hour a day, anything that can kind of get you that little bit of info that you need to be able to present. And guys, like, it's so important because I have been in situations where the conversation comes up and I swear I remember what was spoken about in a podcast or what somebody mentioned in a YouTube video, and I have something to contribute that the table wasn't aware of. It's very, very strong to gain insight from YouTube channels that are offering you news up to date. Like my channel isn't news. It's not keeping up with the economy, with stocks, with companies, with 10Ks, with whatever, or or stuff like that. But if there is a channel, but there are channels like that, and you should subscribe to them. I would recommend, because there's going to be some stuff as you move up the corporate ladder that gets brought up, and the more you're aware, the better you're going to look. And if you learn that trait sooner, it's going to be better for you. Okay, number 5, emotional intelligence. So being technically skilled isn't enough for you to get promoted. That's a fact. You need to be emotionally intelligent. And what this means is to have the ability to understand and manage your own emotions. You also want to navigate the emotions of others, because that's what it means to get promoted once you have people under you. In leadership roles, emotional intelligence is critical, because that's how you're going to motivate your team. That's how you're going to resolve the conflicts. That's how you're going to foster a positive work environment. If you are somebody who's emotionally intelligent, you're going to be better at communicating. You're going to have more empathy with the team, and you're going to maintain stronger relationships and improve the quality of essentially everybody of the work environment. And you're going to be a better leader because of that. The moment you can lead the room is when you can really push the people to be as strong as they can. And you need to learn also when you need to pull back on that. And that's going to inspire trust within your team. And you're more likely to be considered for a promotion if your management and your leadership is seeing you be somebody that has emotional intelligence, somebody that can deal with people in a professional manner, because that's very important in the corporate world, especially the higher you climb. Because truth of the matter is that you could find yourself in an HR situation where you said the wrong thing because you lacked emotional intelligence. You lost control. You said something you shouldn't have. You didn't know that there was a boundary between you and this individual. Emotional intelligence is exactly that. Understanding this and being somebody who understands that work is work and that their social settings need to be followed correctly, not just, assuming that because you have a certain role, you can do whatever you want. Number 6, results are a driven mindset. At the end of the day, companies are driven by results, guys, let's be honest. And those who constantly deliver on those targets are the ones who are going to get promoted. They're not going to promote somebody who has emotional intelligence, but their KPIs are the absolute worst. It's not necessarily just about working hard. It's about working smart and ensuring that your efforts lead to tangible outcomes. You as an individual, what I recommend to you is to track your accomplishments, not only because you want to have proof when you're going to get promoted, but also because when you track your accomplishments and you track your KPIs and your work, that is what you're going to put in your resume. That's what's going to let the next employer know everything you did. Track your accomplishments and what you do. And make sure your boss is aware of what you bring to the company. Let them know every once in a while. Send them an email. Hey, this is what happened. Hey, this is an update. And at least they are aware of what's going on. This isn't about bragging or self-promotion or anything like that. It's just about making your contributions visible. So getting promoted isn't about waiting for someone to recognize you for your hard work. It's about you positioning yourself as the best candidate with your job title. And you're going to do this through your actions, through your mindset, and through your results. You're going to demonstrate initiative. You're going to take ownership, like we spoke about. You're going to lead from the position that you're in any way you can. You're going to embrace change when it comes in a positive manner. And you're going to develop emotional intelligence while focusing on results for the company. It sounds like a lot. I know it is. Write it down, practice it. And I promise you, at the end of the day, either you will get promoted or you will have the tools needed to move to the next position with another company. So the next time you ask yourself, why am I not getting promoted? Make sure you ask, am I doing more than what is expected of me? Am I showing leadership qualities? Am I delivering the results? And if the answer is yes, then keep pushing forward. Your promotion is just a matter of time. Thank you for watching.